Hello, greetings and salutations. On this channel, I'm going to be talking a lot about philosophy, politics, what the best way to structure your life on a personal level is, and what the best way to structure society is. I wanted to go over a few basic principles that all of my future videos will take for granted. The intent of this video is not to posit anything controversial or get deeply into conservatism, but rather to establish a baseline for how I will be treating the essence of reality, human beings, and society in future discussions. This video should form a base upon which we can build in future videos. Humans are defined by our biology. Obviously, food, water, waste excretion, sleep, and a proper temperature are biological needs. However, everything else human beings experience can be found in our biology as well. The psychological need for safety, the desire for love, the exact nature of our sexual attraction, as well as our deepest desires are all defined in our biology. We can do brain scans when people are feeling any certain way and see unique activity. We may not understand the exact nature of everything about the way our brain operates, but we can accept that our brain is the root of everything we experience, and that the brain itself develops the way it does as a combination of inherited factors, genetics and epigenetics, and external factors, culture, upbringing, and natal environment. The nature of external reality is that many people can observe the same event and agree on the material facts of what happened. Take any commonplace occurrence, such as an apple falling from a tree. While there may exist a sensory disorder that would prevent someone from accurately seeing the material facts that an apple detached from a tree branch, moved and accelerated through the air, and struck the ground with some velocity, bruising the apple and causing it to come to rest, almost everyone without exception can agree on the material facts of this matter. I'm using the term material facts to distinguish events that happen in the real world, i.e. our shared reality, versus the perceptions that are based on our individual cognitive experiences. A perception in this example might be how much value the apple has lost upon striking the ground. This will be an opinion that will vary widely based on the viewpoints of the people being asked. The compound effect. The Compound Effect is an excellent self-help book by Darren Hardy, but in addition, it is a fundamental truth of our reality, as fundamental as the truth that entropy in the universe always increases. What the compound effect states is that through concerted effort over time, large changes can be made. We all intuitively know this. People who start businesses struggle at first, hoping that many years down the line they will have a successful company that will provide for them. People who are dating struggle to find the right partner in hopes of establishing a successful long-term relationship that develops into something more. We start children learning math at a young age because it takes many years of building on previous knowledge to understand something like calculus in later years. To state in the simplest terms, it takes time to get results. Nothing of value comes instantly or easily. Pleasure is good, pain is bad. This may seem frustratingly simplistic, but we all recognize that pleasure is pleasant and pain is unpleasant. While a small handful of people may find pleasure in pain, generally that only applies to a small subset of pain for a small subset of people. Hunger pain, for instance, seems almost universally unliked. Physical pain is nature's way of discouraging us from doing things that will prevent us from passing on our genes. While I personally like the quip that pain is weakness leaving the body, we inherently understand that this refers only to certain types of pain, such as the pain of working out, not the pain of, for instance, an infected wound or receiving an oil burn. There exist deepest pleasures that don't provide immediate pleasure, but provide long-term contentment. This may be where I lose some people if they're too far removed from reality, but I'm going to define some deepest pleasures here that give lifetime contentment over temporary pleasure. I may add or subtract to this list, but the ones I'll define for this video are propagating one's genes, seeing one's children grow, being needed / having a function / having a purpose / having meaning, having sentimental human connections, and being at peace / harmony with yourself and your place in the world. In the modern day, we would probably include being loved on this list. but many philosophies throughout time reject this notion, and the understanding of love itself has also changed across culture and time, so I'll leave it off the list for the time being, but with the side note that being loved occurs naturally while pursuing the other deepest pleasures. Here, I'll define a good life as striving to experience the deepest pleasures over the longest period of time possible. A person who is lacking in any deepest pleasures will experience existential pain, which often manifests as depression or anxiety. It's important to note that overindulging in many of the lesser pleasures prevents attaining the deepest pleasures. As an extreme example, indulging in heroin will likely prevent you from seeing your children grow, or from being needed, and will likely also interfere with being at peace and forming sentimental human connections. Society should be structured in a way that deepest pleasures are not impossible for anyone to achieve. This is a principle that almost everyone would agree on, but the tricky thing is the implementation due to human nature itself. Setting human nature aside, the question is, how do you allow people to pursue their deepest pleasures while preventing them from depriving others of their deepest pleasures? Of course, the answer in the real world is that you can't. Someone can always manage to kill another human or their children. It's not impossible anywhere that humans have freedom. Given this, the question becomes, how do we provide the most people with the highest level of freedom to pursue their deepest pleasures? It's an open question, but one that will likely become a common thread on this channel when delving into philosophy and conservatism. Everything of value is limited. This is a slight tone shift from the previous principle, but it is important to cover. Our world is finite. There is a limited amount of anything that someone might want. A country has a certain amount of land, and that amount stays roughly constant. An economy produces goods, but those goods are limited in quantity. A person has a limited number of hours in their day, and a limited number of days in their life. A child has 2 biological parents. Food requires space to grow, so it is also limited. People choose to trade their limited resource of time to receive money, so they can obtain limited resources such as food or luxury goods. Because of this principle, if one person owns something, nobody else can own that thing. If an economy produces fewer goods, the people within it will on average have fewer goods, regardless of how skilled their labor or how much, quote, money they make. Similarly, if an economy produces more goods, the people within it will on average have more goods. So those are the 7 axioms I'll be using a lot on this channel. They're not necessarily the only axioms I'll be using, but they're the most important ones I could think of while writing this video, and a lot of really important things fall out from them. I'm looking forward to making more videos for this channel, where I really get to delve into the philosophy of what makes a good life. If you'd like to catch those, please subscribe, and if you drop this video a like, it really helps me out. See you next time!